because he always used to act when defending.
I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again. Now, as some of you can see the scoreline, if some of you watched the game in our last mid-season sort of game in terms of the restart of the Premier League, we obviously lost to Juventus. Juventus 2, Arsenal 0, courtesy of 2 own goals in either half, freak header from Granit Xhaka, and Holding was doing their madness. You know, in terms of the positives, it's not the Premier League, you know, fitness is all that matters and all of that sort of jazz. I think if I remember rightly, Ethan lost the ball in the build-up to the second goal, not criticising the young 15-year-old, because I think he showed a lot off the bench, a lot positive. He said someone shop and he's got a great future either at this football club or somewhere else within the game. The main thing is fitness. The main thing is just ticking over. And it does kind of kill the mood a bit because you never want to lose. Big up to Juventus as well. You know, they're not even their A, B, or C team. It is their F team. You know, a bunch of random youngsters sprinkled Lokonga. I mean, Lokonga, definitely not him. He can't do that. Locatelli and what's my man's name? Moise Kean, who Holding had a lot of trouble dealing with today. You know, they did well. Clean sheet. Got goals really presented to them, defended well, quite difficult to break down for us. Obviously, it's not our strongest team, but it kind of is in many ways. It's missing the first choice front three players, or at least 2 of them who are not injured in Saka and Martinelli. Tierney had a great game, I feel, as well. Fabio Vieira also had a positive game. Ethan and Koza Jubri were positives as well. And on top of the game being nothing. Now, when it comes to these, I always try, or from the Watford, which we didn't see, Watford game behind closed doors, to Lyon and AC Milan, and today, whether we've won the buy trophies, only Spurs will care about winning them things. I don't really care about the result in pre-season. It's more the mentality. I'm not criticizing the mentality, but for me, I want us to behave like it's a Premier League game. If this was against West Ham on Boxing Day, we'd be very disappointed. There's many things we could learn. You know, whoever's out there, this is what I mean by we're an improved defensive side. We're not necessarily a good one because we've handed those goals to Juventus. And even the first goal with the freak one from Granit that's led from a corner, we've started to allow Juventus to grow into the game, and that's come against the run of play, the corner they've earned, and obviously the killer blow. Anytime you don't take your chances in football, you're in trouble. And honestly, this game should have been done in the first 20, 25 minutes, if I'm honest. Yes, you know, Gabriel, I think if I remember correctly, Gabriel's second half technically scored. It was ruled out. Eddie Nketiah was offside. Good pressing from Eddie Nketiah, and Odegaard presented a good chance where it looks like a terrible miss from Eddie Nketiah. But we should have killed the game in the first 10, 20, 25, if we're completely honest with ourselves. You know, we had massive amounts of possession. A lot of the game, more so the first half, was spent in Juventus's half. We're knocking it around. We're building it from side to side, but we're not working the keeper. We're not provoking uncertainty within that team, really and truly. I think Tierney did well in that inverted role. Benjamin White, in the minutes he played, I think Gabriel did well today. I think Fabio Vieira put himself about. I think Odegaard was good. Clearly, we weren't good enough because we didn't score and whatnot. So it does kind of dampen the mood a bit to a degree. But yeah, we didn't take our chances. We provoked him for inspiration in Juventus. I think even the first 10, 15 in the second half, the way they came out was very mature, very composed, was very confident, really and truly within them. But possession, we've had the majority of possession. We've had the majority of the shots, but possession don't mean anything if you're not going to take the chances, and shooting doesn't mean anything if you're not hitting the target, ultimately working the keeper. Yes, it's only a mess around game sort of thing, and it's good for the few Juventus fans that traveled, but I do think it highlighted, our lack of depth. A couple of players are not there, and we're kind of in trouble at times, In relation to Eddie Nketiah, I do think it's a bit unfair that we're just relying on him because Arteta's got faith in him, but he can't do what Jesus does or anything close to it. And, even Eddie Nketiah's best, is it going to be good enough? I can only praise and critique Eddie where fit, really. It's more, I'm not even criticizing Eddie Nketiah because we all know we should probably have another striker within the squad. All he can do is do his best. But if that's against West Ham, then that's 3 points dropped unnecessarily. The good news is that it isn't. The good news is that we've got to take the good and make it great. We've got to evidently improve on our improvements. I'd say the one bad thing about today is Reece Nelson looked quite distraught. It looks like he has a hamstring injury. As you saw when he passed the ball, he started holding his hamstring, and he could have had I don't want to say a free run at that left wing spot, but if Martinelli goes up front, either you or Smith Rowe, who's not fit like that at this moment in time, could play. I think the journalists were coming out and saying Tomiyasu was left out as a precaution, but he has a hamstring knock. Zinchenko is training, but if he's not playing today, where's his fitness levels? Obviously, we've got Jesus out. Nelson's just picked up a knock. Lokonga was left out as a precaution for a foot injury in Dubai. So this isn't positive at all, really, truly, is it? But yeah, man, in short, we lost car. We didn't take our chances. We didn't kill the game. And anytime you don't do this, how many times in the Premier League, in preseason, in the World Cup in general, have we seen a team have a million chances and ultimately not win the game because they didn't take them, people? As I said, I think the first half, it was all in their half, neat passing, you know, but for a while, Fabio Vieira's half volley was the only real chance we had, and that didn't really work the keeper. Definitely in the first 20 minutes, it was holiday for our defenders. Anytime, you know, Holding was asked any questions, he just couldn't stop fouling Moise Kean, really and truly. And it was a bit of a scene seeing him and El Nene moaning at each other. Initially, everyone did look up for it. You know, Ramsdale had nothing really to do, and it's a bit harsh because Ramsdale can't be blamed for anything, but he ain't got a clean sheet. His job today has just been picking the ball out the back of the net, apart from passing. We had them pinned in their own half, and especially at home, yeah, we're doing quite well away from home, but at home, we need to make it uncomfortable, and we didn't. Again, obviously, it's not really a Premier League game, but it serves as a reminder that although we've been good for 13, 14 games in the Prem, we have not achieved anything. There's many levels to go up, and crucially, it's a restart. In a good way, hopefully this is a sobering reminder of, you know, what football is about, because we've been in a bit of holiday camp. You know, the World Cup came, we still remain top of the table. We've had a great start from August till now, well, till the season stopped. So, yeah, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth to go a goal down and things, because even before that, we did allow Juventus to grow into the game. I don't think Marquinhos had the best of games off the bench, a bit anonymous, if I'm honest. I think Ethan and Koza Drewbury brought a bit more to the table than them. Apart from the first 25 minutes, I think Holding was quite terrible, if I'm completely honest with you. No disrespect. I'm not trying to catch anyone out. First half, again, you've got to make chances count. We had 400 passes in the first half at halftime. Today, 142. We had 2 shots on target. They had 1, obviously. We scored the goals for them. We had 11 shots. Only 2 on target. They had 2 shots, 1 on target, but they took the lead. We see that in the Premier League a lot. So, sobering reminder, if I'm completely honest with you. As I said, Fabio looked sharp. Tierney looked good. Odegaard looked good. You know, Eddie weren't provided with much chances, but yeah, man, it's a bit of an anonymous one. I think Holding versus Moise Kean was an issue. On the topic, just because I mentioned the statistics at half-time, people, and again, the minutes of what you lot check out the video I dropped today where I spoke about my concerns and the good, bad, and the ugly, and my concerns and what I'm praising our team for at this part of the season so far. Because I spoke about this, the minutes we concede goals, we've conceded basically on the edge of halftime, 45th minute, and we've conceded a 90+ minute as we poured on and on and on and on and tried to score. We ended the game with 19 shots, 2 on target. They had 3 shots, 1 on target. Somehow they've won 2-0, kept a clean sheet. And if this was Premier League football, 3 points. There's been many times where we've kind of put in performances like that to a slight degree, not exactly the same, but Leeds comes to mind away from home. And that's how it happens sometimes. We ended with 75% of possession to their 25, 777 passes to their 276, 10 corners to their 1, but we haven't scored. We haven't won the game. And this is a sobering reminder in that, yes, the game don't really mean anything, but there's things we need to learn from this and apply that to West Ham. And that's all these games are about. From the Watford game to AC Milan to Lyon, and now it's just about being that percentage better and getting back on it. And in a nice way, this reminds everyone what we have on task at hand, because it's not an easy set of fixtures to come, people. I don't need to tell you, lot, in no order, what you've got: Brighton, Man United. In fact, in order, because it's here. We've got West Ham next Monday. We've got Brighton away after that. Inform Newcastle. Then you play Oxford United, sorry. Then you've got Tottenham away from home. After that, you've got Manchester United, then Everton away, then Brentford. And you know Ivan Toney's going to want to put a bet or 2 on that and also try and get revenge, because Gabriel and everyone, there is all Twitter wars. You've got Man City on the 15th of February. Away from home, you've got Una Emre's Villarreal. Villarreal, Aston Villa. We all remember what happened when we bucked him with Villarreal. And then you've got Leicester City away, you know, which is a tough, regardless, they're fighting for their lives on the 25th of February. So from now to at least the mid-February, it's tough. We've got to get back on it. We've got to earn our rights again. Everything that's happened up until this point in the season is great. We take the good, we make it great, but we haven't achieved anything. We're running in the race. you know, where we sit in the table, the points we've got. The race ain't done. The race is done in May. So again, I don't think anyone put down any markers. I think it raises in question potentially needing to do something in January, because I think it's unfair to rely on Eddie Nketiah. I think he can bring something to the table, you know, but I just don't think it's fair. It's not fair to Arteta and Edu, even though they planned the technical stuff. It's not fair to Eddie. It's not fair to his teammates. It's not fair to the fans. It's I hope for a bit of season of form, but we need to do something in January, people. But that's all I'd have to say in relation to Arsenal Juventus. Please let me know your opinions. Please make sure you're commenting, you're subscribing, you're turning on your notifications. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you lot soon, people. One love.
So it's always just that active and defending.
I think it's like